Single word request for multinational. I'm working on a project set in the late Middle Ages. For the most part, I'm using modern language, but I'm staying away from present-day terminology and sciences of all types. Consider the following. 1,500 troops joined the multinational force. The peoples in question are Turks, Persians, and Arabs. I like neither multinational nor combined for this use. Thanks for your help. Edit: I don't like combined because it would beg to include the explanation combined forces of Turks, Persians, and Arabs. Instead of making the sentence more concise, I made it longer. I'm choosing coalition because I can present the term earlier and keep the sentence in question short. Actually, this answer led me to the more nefarious consortium, but I never would have gotten there without coalition.
How about polyethnic? Words of Greek origin are guaranteed to never sound modern. Read that with a pinch of salt.
Coalition would have the connotation of diverse forces working together without the modern notion of nationhood.
The three bloodlines, or in your sentence. 1,500 troops joined the joint armies of the three bloodlines . If I read the op correctly, he is trying to convey some of the sense of self the peoples have while referring to them. I infer that from his referring to nationalities as peoples as well as his desire to stay clear of the word combined. If I read right, he wants to use mostly modern language, but convey sensibilities of self-perception of the people involved. Quoting op, but I'm staying away from present-day terminology in sciences of all types. The terms nation and especially multinational carry with them so much of anthropological self-awareness and political science uses that even if a dictionary definition works, the taste of the words misses a chance to contrast these groups with our notion of groups in the West and in modern times. The word bloodlines, I think, captures what a people was to themselves at that time. Even more than the already strong shared history, their ancestry was eternally alive, father to son to grandson, brother to cousin in a spiritual sense. They had more yeasty sense of our people than our sense of individuals or distinct generations. I think this kinship-centric sense of people is particularly strong in the Middle East. I read the op's desire for words particularly apt to the Middle East by naming of the groups he did. I also see why the op might avoid combined, as that does imply mixing and emphasizes separate entities fighting side by side. United might be better, but that carries some sense of meeting of the minds. To me, joint would emphasize separate autonomous entities with links created for a particular situation. Force also seems a bit modern to me. I'd choose armies, also plural, emphasizing their separateness. Joint armies of the three bloodlines seems set apart from modern references yet uses modern words joined together.
Given they form the largest demographic of the term, I would say Middle Eastern would fit nicely. Arabs, Turks, Persians, Kurds, and Azeris, excluding Republic of Azerbaijan, constitute the largest ethnic groups in the region by population. Wikipedia.
"1,500 troops joined the motley force. 2. Made up of many different people or things, a motley crowd, a motley collection of junk." Motley. Merriam-Webster.com. Merriam-Webster, ND Web. May 13, 2017. During the interval between May 860 when Ward took Songkyong and April 6, 1863 when Gordon took Fushan, the best manner of combining native and foreign troops was gradually developed as they became more and more acquainted with each other and learned to respect discipline as an earnest of success. Such a motley force has seldom if ever been seen, and the enormous preponderance of Chinese troops would have perhaps been an element of danger had they been left idle for a long time. There were 5 or 6 infantry regiments of about 500 men each and a battery of artillery. At times it numbered 5,000 men. The commissioned officers were all foreigners, and their national rivalries were sometimes a source of trouble. The non-commissioned officers were Chinese, many of them repentant rebels or seafaring men from Canton and Fujian promoted for good conduct. From the Open Court, Volume 15, p. 747 by Paul Carus, 1901. The vanguard of the British Army under Jen Kino was landed on December 16 and marched to a spot within 9 miles of New Orleans on the morning of the 23rd. Jackson learned their arrival before 2 p.m. and prepared to attack them in their camp. He assembled a motley force 2,131 strong, of whom only about 1,800 were engaged, and aided by Lieutenant Henley and the U.S. schooner Carolina assailed the British. A very hot action was fought with decided advantage to the Americans, as the effect of it was to prevent the enemy's advance upon the city, and the victory might have been made complete had not Largo British reinforcements arrived during the night. From the New American Encyclopedia, a popular dictionary of general knowledge, Volume 9, p. 682. 1872. Motley Force and Motley Army have many hundreds of hits in Google and grams.